Welcome back. This is our fifth week of Creative Arts in the Contemporary Church, and we're starting to look at some changes, some different places. If you've studied worship at all in the last few years, and I don't mean if you've studied a particular group, like if you've studied the Bethel group or the Elevation group, or if you've gone to worship experiences. I mean, if you've really looked at and studied worship throughout the nation and throughout the world, it's totally different. And one of the things that I have talked about in the past, and I continue to think about, is just how often we view things from our own world perspective. We have a bubble in which we live and exist. And what I have found over the years, and not just unique to Southwestern Christian University, was the same type of bubble when I was at Oral Roberts University. Every church that I went to has the same. Every person has their way of looking at how things have happened. And one of the things that we do when we do that is that we tend to ignore the rest of the world. So briefly, we'll talk about the tree of worship, and not here, later in a lecture, but just know that in terms of the body of Christ, who we are. So briefly, the trunk, the split in 1054, the split, the Reformation, the Reformed Church, all this stuff, and you've got, just picture one of those big trees out in the front lawn, one of those huge trees, and way up on one of the upper branches is a limb that's called the Pentecostal Holiness Church. And another is the limb that's called the Methodist Church. And actually, the Pentecostal Holiness Church is the bigger limb is the Methodist Church. And the Pentecostal is a little bit of limb off of that because they're Wesleyan. The United Methodist Church, the Baptist Church, all these different churches are represented in that. And we tend to feel like what we do is it. This week, we look at some other things that are going on and other churches that are growing. We're not the only ones out there. We're not the only ones that God is moving through. God is doing some incredible things in lots of different ways and lots of different people and lots of different churches and lots of different formats. So I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to look at this week. You just got to find out. I will say that your church design assignment is due this week. So be paying attention to that as you do this other stuff as well. It's going to be fun. Just embrace it. Love God. Pray. Give yourselves over to love and devotion.